Hello everyone, today we'll be diving deep into the shiny and dark depths of the entire new VRChat Iceberg made by The Dream Castle on Reddit. I've been thinking about making this video for a long time and I finally decided to actually work on it, as there are also some quite interesting things I want to share and talk about in this video. The VRChat Iceberg comes with exactly 8 layers full of theories, conspiracies and facts, so feel free to listen to this video in the background while you play or doing stuff. Before I start with going in depth on the VRChat Iceberg, I really want to let you know about the features down right here below under this video, the subscribe and like button, as this video took me months to not only script but also cut, edit and research every little bit of this iceberg. Now this is just a reminder, so for now lean back, get your snacks and drinks ready, and let's start with layer 1. This layer covers widely known topics of VRChat that even the most casual users would recognize. Virtual reality VTubers. Virtual reality VTubers are content creators and or media personalities that use a character fully animated in virtual reality. Usually media personalities like these use VR headsets and trackers to immerse their viewers into the role and character they are wearing, which also helps identifying and brand a persona. Very known VR VTubers are, for example, Centreya, TFM Johnny and Murder Crumpet. No Square brushes. No Square was a viral meme created by Molly where a so-called brush avatar would draw a circle around them as a sort of safe space following with a catchphrase. This meme used to be very popular back in 2020 during the pandemic and therefore got copied by many new users, specifically younger ones on VRChat. Since then, the brush avatar itself is always being identified with children using a MetaQuest 2. Jamesky is a very known VRChat content creator, mostly known for videos about the Ugandan knuckles, but also a series called VRChat Experience and VRChat in a Nutshell. Since then, Jamesky's content varies completely from Gma to Payday 3 and other games, although Jamesky's impact on VRChat is definitely honorable to mention regardless. The Black Cat. The Black Cat, a world created by Spooky Ghost Boo, is known to be the most visited world on the entire VRChat platform with over 85 million visits. The Black Cat is still being listed on the most popular and active worlds tab on VRChat and is a known place amongst VRChat users to hang out and chill. Although the Black Cat has all these numbers, it usually is connected with lobbies either full of children running around or racists and trolls trying to get a quick laugh out of others' miseries, which makes it unvisitable for some of VRChat's user base overall. Full body tracking. Full body tracking is a system where you use trackers to track your lower body, which gets projected on the avatar you wear. Usually full body tracking is quite expensive, with most of the commonly used trackers being the HTC Vive Tracker 3.0, but a lot of other options that are cheaper have been added to the competition of the full body tracking market, like Slime VR. Overall, full body tracking is widely used in the VRChat community to enhance immersion. Among Us VR. Among Us. I think I don't really have to explain it, as I'm sure you guys know what it is, but since it's about VRChat, let's talk a little about it at least. Among Us VR is a VRChat game world created by Jar. Among Us has risen in popularity during the pandemic in 2020 and has also been ported onto VR and VRChat. The game world on VRChat itself is usually known to be loud and toxic, as children and other users play this game specifically. VRChat users usually avoid public lobbies or choose to play in a Friends Plus lobby. Josh Stubbs. Josh Stubbs is also one of the known VRChat content creators, known for his funny moments, specifically with someone known as Rekid. Overall, Josh Stubbs still uploads VRChat videos to some extent still. Chris Quits Reality. Another VRChat content creator on the layer 1 of the VRChat Iceberg is Chris Quits Reality, a content creator that uses full body tracking to troll people in VRChat by also using IRL things like a pogo stick or gymnastic tools to do unique performances and arts of trolling. Chris is really well known in the VRChat community, specifically for his unique type of content style. The Ugandan knuckles. Do you know the way? I think everyone who ever touched, played or heard VRChat knows of the Ugandan knuckles. The small little red friends running around cluckling in the search of finding their queen. A meme that had the biggest impact on VRChat growth and community, and by far the most known meme related to VRChat overall. The Ugandan knuckles origins are actually not from VRChat, but from a 1-second clip by Greg Zilla, which then has been modeled as an avatar by Tidiest Flyer and has been updated and fixed by Gaston, the king of Uganda. Anti-cheat drama. This was back in 2022 when VRChat announced in July 2022 that they'll be adding an anti-cheat system, specifically easy anti-cheat, to get rid of modifications like clients. When the news broke, the VRChat community was in complete shambles. The official VRChat suffered in an utterly clusterfuck for the moderation as users poured in their complaints in the chats. VR Lolathon, a known VRChat content creator that uses avatars they themselves modify to troll users in their lobby. Lolathon is also extremely well known in VRChat due to his content as well. Quest users. Quest users are users that usually use a VR headset from Meta but as a standalone type, meaning not having the headset connected to a PC. They are usually known to have less mobility when it comes to worlds compared to PC VR, not the best graphics, and many Quest users are also connected to mostly being children using these. Quest users itself is a term to define a specific player base in VRChat in general. The Virtual Reality Show. The Virtual Reality Show is a YouTube channel hosted by Fia, covering many different types of VRChat communities, reviewing and showcasing new hardware and technology, and also doing self-experiments. Fia has been very involved in the VRChat community and is known to be one of the most popular VRChat content creators when it comes to covering the community itself. Anime girls. Anime girls are, well, anime girls. In VRChat, more than 30% of users are wearing an avatar that is an anime girl or related to an anime girl. So, yeah, cool. Murder 4. Murder 4 is a well-known VRChat game world created by Jar. It has some sort of similarity to Among Us, with the only difference is that there's no emergency button or call on who could be the imposter. Graham Taylor and Jesse Judre, the founders of VRChat. Not many people in VRChat know about these two, as they don't really show themselves out in the public of VRChat, but they still manage, plan and discuss the VRChat foundations. They are more or less in the background doing the business of VRChat as a company as a whole. Super VR Ball. Super VR Ball is a VRChat game world created by Blue Aces where people race their friends on a ball, balancing it to the finish line. It supports almost all possible devices that support VRChat as well. iShowSpeed streams. iShowSpeed used to stream VRChat for a while back in 2022, and these streams evolved into whole laws about Speed's character and friends' connections. In one way or another, these streams also helped VRChat to increase their player base by a good amount. The Hub. VRChat used to have a hub instead of a VRChat home back then. The hub of VRChat has been updated frequently back from 2017 to 2018 and was used to meet new people, try out different features, and learn more about the virtual world. As of right now in 2024, well, we haven't got any official VRChat hubs since. The Devouring. One of the most known VRChat horror game world is The Devouring by Lacusa. With over 800,000 visits, The Devouring catches the users into mystical puzzles and spooky themes, which makes it a classic for VRChat users and a must-play for newlings. Furries. One of the largest communities out there in VRChat are the furries. Furries stand for people that like to dress as anthropomorphic animals, which VRChat makes it easier with the access of avatars instead of paying thousands of dollars for an actual suit. The furry community is not only the largest, but also the most creative community, as many known world, avatar, asset and content creators would identify with this community overall. Layer 2. Layer 2 includes slightly less well-known topics, but still remains recognizable to many users. VRChat SDK. The VRChat SDK is a software development kit that helps creators to create VRChat worlds and avatars. Nothing crazy or interesting here, it's that simple. Gestures. In VRChat you can use hand gestures or animations mapped on VR controllers to give your avatar a certain way of showing emotions, which is a necessary and important part in VRChat. Udon Worlds. Udon Worlds are VRChat worlds created with VRChat's programming framework Udon. Udon helps and supports interactivity within worlds to interact with certain objects or tools. Omegle VR. Omegle VR is basically Omegle, but in VRChat. It is possible to meet strangers there, talk to them and chat, basically on a random pic like on Omegle. Tavo. Tavo is a known VRChat personality and content creator who is known for showcasing hardware, making entertainment content, and is mostly known for many viral shorts. Tavo has been and is still an important part of the VRChat community. Mouse and keyboard. Well, this is basically desktop users who play, you guessed it, on a keyboard and a mouse. No Time to Talk. A VRChat game world based on social connection by fax machine. Here you have a limited set of time to meet a random player and start having a conversation with one another. Roleplay. Roleplay is a major part in VRChat and VRChat culture, making it up to 40% of VRChat groups. Players take on personas and characters to act out scenarios like Milsim, Police RP, Star Wars RP and much more. Theater worlds. These are VRChat worlds that are mainly designed for watching movies or plays, other performances or skits. One of them, for example, is Popcorn Plays by Spacebar, with the focus of watching movies. The Puck. The Great Puck, or known as The Puck, is a very popular PC-only VRChat world based on a real-life pub by Owlboy. Published in May 2019 and with over 25 million visits, The Great Puck is one of the OG places to be and an absolute classic. Not to mention, this is one of the most visited PC-only VRChat worlds on the platform. Creator Economy. The Creator Economy is a system designed by VRChat that enables the support of groups and worlds with an in-game currency called VRChat credits. The Creator Economy is still somewhat in development, so we might have to wait for what's coming in the next few years. User ranks. VRChat has ranks to let other people know who's new and who might be not. These ranks are visitor, new user, user, known user, and trusted user. Users can upgrade their ranks by engaging in VRChat with other users, being online, and creating friendships. PvP worlds. I think this is pretty simple. Player versus player worlds, where players combat against others in a world. An example would be Battlelisk. VRC Plus. VRChat Plus, or VRC Plus, is a subscription service that gives you quite an amount of benefits like stickers, custom icons and banners, custom emotes, badges, and a lot more to name. These are all additional, so it's not needed. VRChat Plus also supports the VRChat development and the developer team in general. The 2020 player spike. The 2020 player spike is named by the large amount of influx of new players that came during the 2020 pandemic. Horror worlds. Basically worlds that are designed to scare players, often used with puzzles and jump scares. An example for that would be the mentioned world, The Devouring by Lacusa. Mirror Dwellers. The good old Mirror Dwellers. Players that start up VRChat just to go in their main favorite world and stare at the mirror all day. And that's all they do. Nothing else added to this, not even engaging in social contact most of the time. Drinking Night. Drinking Night is a popular VRChat world where users drink together and party. Drinking Night also offers games, a bar, and a mirror for others to dwell in. Mutes. Mutes are usually players who don't talk on VRChat but either use sign language, body language, or hand interactions to interact with other users. Some also through text. E-dating. This one can be a deep topic, so I'll make it short. E-dating is dating through the internet. Connected to VRChat, e-dating usually means falling in love and dating a person without seeing them in real life. Exceptions are there where people actually got engaged and married. So yeah, that's nice. E-boys and e-girls. The typical avatars that you usually see in lobbies and VRChat worlds. Mostly very stereotypical, with e-boys dressed as goth or emo-like, deep voice included, and e-girls dressed either goth, emo, or pinkish. Simply stereotypical style of avatars and users. Just B Club. A very known hangout world created by Blue Coon. There are, as of 2024, 3 different versions of Just B Club, with each of them upgraded to the next level. Android. VRChat can be played on Android, as it is in the open beta right now. Language exchange worlds. These are worlds designed to learn and practice different languages with other users and native speakers. This not only includes typical languages like English, Korean, or Spanish, but also American Sign Language, German Sign Language, and so many more. The XQC whale clip. Well, see for yourself.
The big whale at the back! Big whale!
No!
Snorlax, I do not choose you! Get the fuck off the stage!
Layer 3. Layer 3 is becoming more niche, touching on VRChat's culture, lesser known worlds and events. This world will be deleted in 24 hours. This world will be deleted in 24 hours is a world created by Crazium, where a user has to press a button to keep the world alive. If no one presses the button in 24-hour mark, the world will be deleted. As of 2024, the world has survived 668 days and will probably earn up to more days in the future. Crashers and Rippers. Crashers and Rippers are 2 different categories but seem to count as one on this layer. Crashers are users that use avatars specifically designed with overloaded particles and assets to crash another user's PC, while Rippers usually try to rip or steal avatars through some sort of VRChat catch to either sell the stolen avatar or use it for themselves. Even though VRChat is actively fighting against ripping, there are still cases of users getting the avatar ripped, sold, and shared online. Drinking worlds. These are VRChat worlds specifically used for partying, drinking, and socializing. As mentioned before in another layer, Drinking Night, for example, is one of these drinking worlds. Alcoholism. Due to the drinking culture in VRChat, alcohol has grown into quite a problem, as you cannot tell how much you drank until you put off your headset. There have been cases of users who passed out while in VR, some even had to call the paramedics, but as far as I know, these might be rumors. Overall, VRChat and its users should be aware of the problem of alcoholism. Phantom sense. Phantom sense describes a phenomenon of feeling physical sensations in VR despite no real-world stimulus. For example, this experiment right here explains how phantom sense works. The person and a fake arm is being placed, both being stimulated while the fake arm gets hit with a hammer. The person most likely will flinch as it thought the fake arm was theirs. VRC TikTok. The TikTok side of VRChat. From memes to soundbites and dances to whole drama and controversy, VRChat TikTok is one big pool of every internet culture. ERP. ERP stands for erotic roleplay, a controversial topic in VRChat. ERP is what can be described as online sexual intercourse with 2 or more players using avatars in VRChat. Liminal spaces. These are worlds specifically designed to be liminal, nostalgic, or surreal with unreal or distorted architecture. Liminal spaces in VRChat had been popping off in 2022 when the backrooms went viral. As of now, it regrouped into a smaller community. VR Mods. VR Mods or VRC Mods is a website that offers free assets and avatars. Back then in 2020, many users got their avatars from VRC Mods and modified those. A lot of crashers used to look for avatars that already came with particle overloaders. VRC Mods as of now is more of a starting point for some users to get into Unity, though the community around this website might decrease in the future. Booth and Gumroad. Booth and Gumroad, the website that lets you sell and or purchase avatars, worlds and assets created by users. There's always been a fight in the VRChat community on what website is better and offers more, but no matter what, these 2 websites are very useful to find and create your own avatars. Milsims. Milsims are kind of like roleplay but military simulation. For example, Black Aces, which excluding the roleplay part, and or the Waifuware, which includes the roleplay part. The LPD, the Lowly Police Department, or now rebranded Local Police Department, is a role-playing group that focuses on police roleplay. From patrolling around VRChat worlds to make sure the streets of VRChat are safe, the LPD always makes sure you enjoy your journey. Star Wars RP. Well, like it says, Star Wars RP. There are quite a few VRChat groups that do weekly events and role-playing scenarios, and one of them is the First Galactic Empire, to name an example. Sleeping worlds. Sleeping worlds are designed for users who enjoy sleeping in VRChat. Yes, some users actually sleep in VR, which is why someone had the idea of creating a sleeping world. Most sleeping worlds are small and cozy with adjustable lighting. For example, the world Rest and Sleep. Community labs. Community labs are a collection of new and experimental VRChat worlds that people can visit and try out. Usually these are worlds that have been in the works for some time now too. Coffee Bandit. Coffee Bandit is a VRChat player that is well known for his high quality worlds such as After Dark Arcade, Taco Bell and recreation of Half-Life 2. Coffee Bandit was not free from drama though. Lots of the info is now considered lost, but from what I read, Coffee Bandit was dating someone that was accused of grooming minors. Coffee Bandit knew about the allegations but continued the relationship with her while allowing her to stay in his 13+ Half-Life 2 Combine Discord server. Coffee Bandit and his girlfriend were exposed by a former admin on the server in a now deleted document showcasing her behavior. The fallout led to people mass exiting the Discord server, Coffee losing admin control, and the After Dark Arcade world getting deleted. Coffee Bandit has since uploaded a new version of After Dark Arcade and many other worlds. Since most of the information is now lost, it's hard to really conclude who is really at fault. Gender identity. Gender identity in VRChat plays a big role as you can wear any type of avatar that you want. It's the exploration and expression of gender through these avatars that you wear. Avatar customization. You are able to customize your avatar in VRChat's SDK in Unity. This is basically the act of modifying or creating avatars that suit one's personal preference and personality. Pole dancing. This is quite a niche in VRChat, but there are pole dances in VR. Usually these users have an actual pole built in their room and use it to dance on these. Very, very niche but popular thing in VRChat. Holiday worlds. Well, Christmas, Halloween, Easter, these are all holiday type of worlds that are themed around, well, holidays. Live DJ events. These are very popular in VRChat. Live DJ events like for example Shelter or Schism are live DJ events where a DJ is playing and mixing their music live. Error world. The error world is somewhat rare. When you try to join a normal lobby but get glitched out or kicked, you sometimes end up in a world that is almost completely blank in the Unity base with a plain in text. Cool little Easter egg. Clubbing. This can be connected with live DJ events. Clubbing is a very important part in the VRChat culture and makes a big amount of VRChat's community. Especially the increase in players back in 2020 made the club culture quite big in VR. Japanese Shrine. A good old classic world in VRChat where most Japanese users hang out and talk and chill. You probably have seen this world in many other VRChat videos like polyglots talking to the Japanese or trolling videos. Gumroad NSFW Purge. Gumroad, the known VRChat asset avatar world seller page, used to crack down on NSFW content being sold on their platform back in March of 2024. This was a general crackdown on any kind of NSFW content being sold on Gumroad, not only about VRChat assets. Neo Worlds. This is a VRChat world in the style of Habbo or older Flash website social platforms made by Widget 365. Neo Worlds popped off back in May 2024 and is still being worked on to this day. OSC. OSC or Open Sound Control is a protocol used in and for VRChat for integrations like avatar animations. OSC can also be used for face tracking, trying out different controllers or voice control. Layer 4. Layer 4 goes deeper and covers more obscure topics and phenomena in VRChat. These are usually lesser known details, insider knowledge, or controversial and niche content. VRCon. VRCon is a virtual convention that was held in VRChat until 2022. When internal drama started to evolve, VRCon was known for showcasing creators, games, communities, and groups. Nowadays, we got Project Community that does the same like VRCon, with many of the project community staff being from former VRCon staff members. Kmart. This was a known and iconic world and group evolving around Kmart and keeping its history in VR. As of now, the Kmart community doesn't really exist anymore, as the owner of the group and world has been confirmed involved in drama and is assumed to be a pedophile. VRChat Families. This also plays along with roleplay, as VRChat families are a group of players who roleplay as family units, like siblings, parents, or children. Dynamic Penetration System. Dynamic Penetration System, or DPS, is a very controversial system that allows VRChat users to add DPS to their avatars for advanced interactivity in ERP. Climbing and gliding. I think this is more about the features that you can add on avatars or add as features in VRChat worlds. I haven't found much about this specific one. Unlisted ranks. Unlisted ranks or hidden special ranks are the ones that are not visible or very rare. One of them is the popular known nuisance rank that you can get in VRChat if you don't behave at all, which automatically mutes and blocks your avatar with that rank. Photography. Photography is also an integral part in VRChat culture, as more worlds and avatars give more motives and playground to sceneries in VRChat. VCAT Markets. Virtual Market, or VCAT, is one of the largest virtual market you can visit in VR. VCAT offers creators a way to show off their creations by giving them the opportunity to place booths and portraying their made stuff, which you can purchase online. VRChat Plush. I think this is related to plushies you can purchase online, like the VRCat plush or the recently announced VRChat plush. All pretty cool and nice collectibles. The motorcycle pose. This is what is known to be a pose when you try to work on your avatar in Unity. Looks really funny, and I think some of you might have seen or heard of this motorcycle pose before. Flight simulators. These are worlds specifically built for simulating flights with a jet, a helicopter, old World War II planes, and more. For example, Swikaku created a few very known flight simulation worlds in VRChat. D&D groups. D&D or Dungeon and Dragon groups are also somewhat of a roleplay community that are involved in D&D play. Basically the core of roleplay. Gaia Night. Gaia Night is a very classic and OG hangout spot created by Xeon. This world used to be very popular back from 2018 to 2020, being one of the most known hangout spots in the good old days of VRChat. Open Mic Night. Open Mic Night is also a known OG world by Gunter, known for users giving their performances here. From comedy to singing to Yogana Knuckles raiding the lobbies, Open Mic Night is always connected to good and funny memories. Car racing groups. These are groups based on car racing and car racing worlds, hosting huge race events and drifting events in VRChat. Garo Shadowscale. Garo Shadowscale is or was a VRChat personality and VRChat content creator who got involved in a lot of drama. He's known to be very narcissistic, as of the articles that I read online. Some say that he created a cult around him and charged people $200 to DM him in private, also supposedly making his content sexual and having children in his own cult. Pen artists. Pen artists are super underrated in VRChat. These are users that create astonishing art in VR just by using the pens in specific worlds. This community is very niche and underrepresented, as all of them have potential. Neos VR. Neos VR used to be a VRChat-like VRChat-esque platform that has been shut down due to controversy with bad leaders of Neos VR promoting cryptocurrency on the platform. Many staff members left and created their own platform, which is now known to be Resonite. Seizure incident. This happened back in 2017-2018 in the open mic night world, where a user suddenly got a seizure while playing VRChat. Users crowded around him, some trying to help by calming him down. People recall seeing that user twitching and trying to find a way to figure out how to help this user. The whole incident was filmed and published on the VRChat subreddit. Discord ERP groups. Basically, since ERP is a thing in VRChat, user created dedicated Discord groups and servers to exchange fantasies and also meet up with other users for virtual intercourse. Layer 5. Deep in this layer, we'll be talking about conspiracies, cults, and dark topics. Cults. This is referred to organized, niche, and exclusive VRChat groups that often have unique beliefs or structural behavior. Many cults are less based on one person, but often an idea like crash monkeys. Basically a cult that aims to crash a certain type of users on a death list, but also cults around people and personalities, sometimes turning harmful and in rare cases go from VR to outside IRL harmful behavior. The Puck Moon controversy. Remember when I mentioned the Great Puck in a few layers before? Well, the Great Puck has a moon in its world, and many used to think that you were able to get on that moon by using a specific avatar or asset that helps you to get on it. Now I don't know if you can actually get on the moon in the Great Puck or if it's just a picture or a sprite, but there was a lot of controversy about this specific one. The Laughing Caffin. The Laughing Caffin is a notorious crasher group aiming to crash specific and known people in their sites. This group is also involved in doxing, crashing lobbies, and hunting down users. I'm not sure if they are still around, but as of now, crashing isn't as easy as it used to be back in 2021. VRChat Zoo. Well, worlds that evolve around zoos. Wow, that's really all I was able to find here. Specifically the world Zoo by Maypole that includes weirdly looking cartoonish animals. Therapy. I think this is either related to VRChat users pretending to be therapists to abuse and or exploit other users, or this is related to VRChat therapy in... Honestly, I have no idea. I also looked this one up and it was just users saying that the VRChat community needs one big therapy session. Real life Puck. The Great Puck actually stemmed from an actual Puck that is based in Madison, Wisconsin, called the Great Dane Pub. It looks eerily familiar with the VRChat world. Fever Dream. Fever Dream was known to be a world created by VRMod 11 that is not only extremely disturbing but also more of a shocker world. Basically, you go through different phases of what people describe as a fever dream. The deeper you go, the crazier and more disturbing the world becomes. The world is still accessible to this day, so go there at your own risk. 1001. 1001 was the creator alongside SCRN of the known world Treehouse in the Shade. 1001 unfortunately passed away in February of 2020 due to a heart failure. Many users, included the head of community Tupper, mourned the loss of 1001 as he was a known creator and member of the VRChat community. To this day, Treehouse in the Shade is still accessible and often used to visit in memory of 1001's work. Call Moderate. There used to be a button in the menu to call a moderator back when VRChat was a much smaller game, which would invite a moderator to the session if someone was being a bit too silly. Such a feature no longer exists as the VRChat community has been grown really rapidly. HBO documentary. This is referring to an HBO documentary made by Joe Hunting called We Met in Virtual Reality, which shows a few communities and interviews of people that found themselves in VR and got engaged in real life. A real known documentary that pushed the player base of VRChat as well, showing that it's more than avatars behind these goggles. The Puck Basement. The Great Puck actually has a basement which is only accessible during special times like New Year's or Christmas. There are rumors that the basement can only be accessed by high-ranking users to do unholy stuff, but I don't think that's true. Dolphin hopping. In the good old days of VRChat, the movement was very buggy, allowing people to perform tricks that allowed them to float in the air by mashing inputs. One of the less known tricks is dolphin hopping, in which players can jump and run while prone continuously, if performed correctly. It made whoever performed it act like a dolphin, hence the name dolphin hopping. Church services. This is probably related to religious VRChat groups that hold ceremonies for Christians, Muslims, and other religions. Some of them have their own world to pray together, some of them simply meet in a group and sing and pray songs. Hazer DVR. Hazer DVR was a known VRChat streamer who helped raise money for the 2018 Toys for Tots charity. Even though this is a really nice gesture, Hazer DVR was not free from controversy and drama. In 2020, Hazer DVR was caught lying about having the coronavirus to rank up donations by their viewers. At the end, Hazer DVR gave back the donations to his viewers, seeked a therapist, and stopped streaming altogether. Black Cat Roblox. There is a Black Cat World version in Roblox that you can visit. The people are still the same, but the location is eerily similar to what we see in VRChat. ID and Whiskers Arc. The Hunt for Mr. Whiskers was an ARG or alternate reality game in 2018 that sent people through different worlds to find pieces to a gun that could destroy a character called Mr. Whiskers. This is a long story, but I keep it short. On October 21st, 2018, Mr. Whiskers had their final showdown. The showdown involved the top 4 hunters, Oblivious, Japanese name, Landon Aero, and Dr. Evilson, in a puzzle map against Mr. Whiskers. As a reward for the first place, Oblivious was given a statue in the Hunter's Hub. Stalkers. These are users in VRChat who specifically stalk others. They record and take photos of their victims and send them to their private phone number, threaten or even dox their victim, and possibly more. I'm not sure if this is still recent stuff, but stalkers are always gonna be a thing, unfortunately, even in real life. 5.6.3 mirrors. Okay, the only thing I found about this is that 5.6.3 mirrors refers to a specific VRChat update that made it unable or caused issues to mirrors, which enraged the community, getting developers of VRChat to fix that issue almost instantly. If you updated any avatars back when VRChat was using Unity 5.6.3 and sticked any limp through a mirror, your reflection would stick that limp right back at you. 2021 New Year's incident. This refers to an event that occurred during the 2021 New Year's celebration where VRChat had an incredible high amount of user influx that shattered VRChat's capability to hold this many people. On that day, VRChat went down. There's a whole post just about this topic created by Tupper that gives more clarity on what exactly happened on that day. But to sum it up, it was simply too many people for VRChat at the time. World prop abuse. World prop abuse is commonly seen in VRChat that makes it unable to step foot into the VRChat world itself. I think this is also more of a catchphrase involving all around using world props to abuse the system, making you fly off the world and stuff like that. Hired crashes. Hired crashes or hitmen are users that get paid for crashing certain worlds or users. This is also connected to crasher groups like Laughing Coffin and other crasher groups, but I think it's simply explained when I say that hired crashes are like hitmen. Portal spam. This is referred to as users spamming portals when back then you didn't have a timeout or an option to extra click on portals, making users disappear in other worlds when portal spammers spammed the lobbies with these. This was also used to get rid of people that someone didn't like. Laughing avatar. I think this is connected to the avatars that the notorious crasher group Laughing Coffin uses. Basically looking like this. I'm not sure if they still exist that way, but I'm sure that you might have seen this once in VRChat. Ooga Booga. Ooga Booga is a VRChat world by The Sivir, a known VRChat user in the community. This basically depicts a fever dream world that has everything you would ever need, used for making videos, streaming, sleeping, drinking, weddings, reflection, surface dwelling. Okay, that was a little hard to read. And everything else, so the description. Layer 6. As we go even deeper into the layers, Layer 6 surrounds drama, malicious activity, and more. Just Mouth. Just Mouth is a world by Japanese user YM, which basically depicts just that. Just a mouth. You're on a mouth and that is all you need to know. PC bricking avatars. These are avatars designed to specifically overload and or crash the user's PC by using excessive polygons, malicious scripts, or particles. There are cases where crashers with bricking avatars were able to destroy their victim's PC, but make that out of what you will. AFK2B. This is specifically referring to a user called 2B who was AFK, away from keyboard, for a very long time in the Image Near Automatica world. Many people thought that this user passed away and had his PC still running VRChat. Others say that 2B is simply farming hours. Either way, being AFK in the same world for over months 24/7 is really strange. The Bathhouse. The Bathhouse is a VRChat world by Federico Solmi that many people claim to not only look eerily, but supposedly haunted. The world is inspired by Roman villa themed mansions with statues and more. Others say this world has been used for orgies, some say this is an experiment, but one thing is definitely true. The world is eerie. Sponsored ERP events. I haven't found anything here. This also seems fake, but if it's real, then it's probably connected to ERP events being sponsored by brands selling toys. I think that's my guess. Shock avatars. These are avatars to surprise, shock, prank, and troll players. Usually, shock avatars use an emote or an animation that sends a picture to your screen with a disturbing image to shock you to the point that you're turning off your headset. This was basically one way to get rid of someone you don't like in VRChat. Lost worlds. These are VRChat worlds that are lost completely and entirely, usually taken private by the creators themselves. Password stealing client. This refers to a malicious client or mod used by users to steal passwords and credentials. This is not recent, as mods have been banned in 2020 2022, and the last case of password stealing clients was back in 2020. Safety settings bypass. I guess this is or was a way to bypass the safety settings probably used by crashers and rippers. Biggest avatar. The biggest avatar in data size was an avatar by Izumi Yu with over 930 megabytes. Literally as big as some other games you can get on Steam. I have no idea how this is even possible as VRChat has avatar limits, but this is really insane. Edge of Memory. I think this is about one of the worlds that has been used in the Whiskers ARG hunt. That's the only thing I found about this topic. Water Closet. Water Closet is a known VRChat world that compiled all possible internet memes into one world, also created by hands. From 2019 to 2024, this world has persistently updated with new memes being included as well as avatars to try on. Water Closet can be categorized as an OG world. Seizure incident faked. Some say that the seizure incident that was posted on Reddit is supposedly fake. I honestly don't know as I never suffered seizures or know anyone who has. But the video poster supposedly hired a user with full body tracking back in that time to do a skit in front of others in faking a seizure. Hypnotist Sappho. Hypnotist Sappho was known to be a very VRChat content creator who filmed hypnosis sessions but also went through a lot of scandals and controversies. Sappho was exposed for sexually predatory behavior in 2021 and also outed themselves as zoophile, which basically means sexual attraction to animals. From zoophilia to bestiality and predatory behavior, Sappho deleted all their videos and distanced themselves from YouTube. Layer 7. Viewer discretion is advised here. Layer 7 is dark. Deep dark. The 2023 Ripper Hunt. Back in 2023, the official Discord server of the Ripper Store, a website that offered ripped avatars, worlds and assets, publicly declaimed a so-called Ripper Hunt, where rippers should rip the most avatars and worlds possible to be able to win a prize. The VRChat community was in uproar. Twitter and the official VRChat Discord exploded in messages, not only complaining about the developers and staff of VRChat for not acting, but also to share their concern. In the end, Ripper Store was taken down and the official Discord server with it too. Grooming rings. Grooming rings unfortunately exist in VRChat. I have read through a few articles about this and got absolutely disturbed. The way these rings operate is that they use Discord as a sort of hub and invite underage users to their Discord server where they supposedly share out their addresses so groomers can meet up with them in real life. There is a case named by Reddit user named Absent Asset who described what they encountered in VRChat, which is exactly what has been summarized here. Tech Gangster. Tech Gangster is a VRChat user known for a lot of controversies, specifically in grooming and sexual harassment accusations. Not only being aggressive inside of VRChat, but also mentally abusing other users for their own entertainment. This is what Tech Gangster was popular for. Videos started popping up of Tech Gangster allegedly ERPing with minors, and it's just a lot of disturbing stuff. The Truth. The Truth is one of the most disturbing world in VRChat. It's just a black void with a video player that plays gore videos. From killing to massacres, this world is just surreal. As far as I know, this world doesn't exist anymore. Ronnie McNutt Avatar. Ronnie McNutt was a 33-year-old American who live streamed his suicide on Facebook, shooting himself in the head with a shotgun. For some reason, users thought it would be a super cool idea to make an avatar out of this incident. So yeah, this is what Ronnie McNutt Avatar is. Sex cults. Yes, they do exist in some sort of way too. We may be able to connect this with ERP Discord servers, but yeah, cults again. Aaron Zeman. Aaron Zeman is a convicted sex offender who abducted a 13-year-old child that he met on Roblox and in VRChat. Aaron, or Hunter Fox, which was his name online, has been arrested for the abduction and is now in prison. Before that, he dreamed of living with the 13-year-old child for the rest of his life. CP Worlds. These are supposedly worlds that are either showcasing CP or are used to sexually harass minors. Most of these worlds are thought to be private and only accessible via a specific link. Either way, absolutely disgusting. Crime meetups. I think this also kind of explains itself. Some players are involved in organized crime and use VRChat as a meetup. Now this can be a conspiracy or a fact, so make that what you will. Jonathan Rosemoyne. Jonathan Rosemoyne was a 30-year-old man from Louisiana playing VRChat and got to know a 14-year-old girl. They got in contact and shared their addresses. Jonathan Rosemoyne supposedly sold all his belongings to buy a flight ticket to move to this girl. During that time, he hid in the 14-year-old girl's closet from their parents. Jonathan Rosemoyne was convicted of multiple charges and arrested. Little Space. Little Space, a now deleted VRChat world designed for age regression. Age regression is a rabbit hole in itself, which I really don't want to touch on. Despite it supposedly being made for people to cope and relieve stress, it was used for people to fulfill certain ERP fantasies. There is also another world called Lucky Charms which had the same thing happen and was deleted due to that community being overrun with pedophiles. So supposedly this world was used for a lot of NSFW acts and behavior, specifically with and towards minors. It has been targeted by pedophiles before, as this world was a haven for age regressors and roleplay. The world got purged as well as the group. People involved got banned and were never seen again. Life deaths in VRChat. Deaths related to gaming is an uncommon but known subject. Unlike other cases, however, VRChat does have a culture of alcohol and drug abuse. It's not surprising that there have been rumors and sightings of people overdosing while out partying in public and private worlds. Seizures, tripping, and other facts are also a possibility. Layer 8. The end of all. The darkest depths of the iceberg. Progression theory. A conspiracy theory that VRChat has been unintentionally or intentionally programmed to slowly convert people into the LGBTQ community. This is actually based more on a meme, so take this with a grain of salt. At the end of the day, this is still a theory, but who knows, maybe there is some truth to it. Hiders and siren groups. Hiders are groups of people that will actively follow individual groups around in public or private lobbies in order to screenshot, audio record, or film them. These reasons could be anything from paranoia, obsession, doxing, blackmail, or other factors. Siren Group is a defunct roleplay group that would partake in hider activity for the sake of roleplay. Empty VRChat. Despite being a social game, people tend to keep to themselves in private worlds. This could be due to small friend groups, world exploration, sleeping, or trying to avoid kids and edgy teens in public worlds. From 2017 to 2024, the game slowly is starting to feel more and more empty, as now there are more private instances than public. And this was the VRChat Iceberg explained. This took me hours upon hours of research as well as recording and editing, so please do me a favor and subscribe to this channel and like this video. And thanks to the Reddit user The Dream Castle, who also helped me explain a few things on this iceberg and made the iceberg even possible in the first place. And as always, take care in the virtual as well as in reality. Ciao ciao.